show presented by Draftkings. I'm Ros Logan, and that is my girl, Logan Hackett. Logan, what's going on, girl?
Nothing, just hanging out in Canada. It's actually a lot warmer here, so we're doing really well. We're coming off of the Four Nations win and honestly just having a great time. How are you?
I know you are so happy out there that it's warming up, although you do have a hoodie on. I definitely look like it's
Yeah.
warm weather here in LA. But I'm excited. We've got a really exciting show coming up. We're getting into unrivaled beef. Can women talk trash in sports? Yes, we're going to talk about that. We've got a huge guest coming to the show. WNBA champion Betnijah Laney-Hamilton joins us from Miami. She is newly of Unrivaled. We're also going to preview some college hoops today and preview the She Believes Cup finals as well. So, Logan, I mean, this has been really cool. We say this every time. We're building this show from the ground up, and everyone who watches, who likes, who comments, it means a lot to us. And, need every single one of you. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. We be having some viral hits sometimes. We're at Good Follow Show for all good things, women's sports. We got you.
Well, Roz, after I feel like a whole bunch of teasing and then radio silence, Diana Taurasi officially announced her retirement, which is so sad. I mean, I feel like the time that I was watching her, she was just known for being like the OG trash talker. She had the spiciness to her. She was backing it up and just making people's lives a living hell. I want to know, just reflecting on her career, what type of impact did she leave on the game, or is she leaving on the game?
Logan, I feel for you that
No.
you miss so much of Diana's prime because she made you feel something when you watched the game. I feel that what made Diana great, she's one of the players that made women's hoops really fun to watch. Ultimately, it wasn't just the skill on the court, it was the showmanship of all of it. It was the slick back bun. It was Kobe calling her white mamba. It's the trash talking. It's the joy and the funniness of her game. It's her talking to the refs. Diana was coming up in a time too where like the league was still leaning in on like the nice girls, right? And Diana was like, I'm me, and I'm gonna talk my talk. And she could walk the walk too. So I thought, that's how I reflect on the way Diana played the game and what separated her and made her so elite and puts her into that category of greatness.
I also want to point out like how great of an athlete she is and how well she must be treating her body, because I mean she's had legend status for a really long time, but the fact that at 42 she's even still considering playing another season and making this decision this late, like surely she had enough to go and it came down to like, okay, if it doesn't make sense, or I don't know. I'm not in her head. But at 42 years old, like a lot of people are retired by then. So huge props to her and for kind of keeping her career going as long as possible.
Yeah, especially when I've been covering her career at the end. What we also saw was her tremendous work ethic, her high level ability to be a true pro, and work on her body and prepare her body to get ready to play at a high level. So, you talk about longevity, that she played until age 42, but you also have to pay attention to what it took to be able to suit up. There's actually a clip that I have that talks about how she took care of her body.
She gave a lot of credit to head trainer Hannah Breck because between these games, her regimen includes, and I'm going to read this because it's a grocery list. It's ice, game ready, soft tissue, acupuncture, electric stim, mobility and band work, blood flow restriction training, massage, and good old-fashioned elevation. Y'all, it literally takes Diana about half the day just to get her ankle ready to play. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm exhausted even imagining trying to execute all of that.
The fact that that was in 2021 and we are currently in 2025 is absolutely insane. But when it comes to DT's legacy, not even in the WNBA, but also just women's basketball and basketball as a whole, what do you think that looks like?
Diana's legacy is very much a global legacy. It is the global game that she has been dominant on, the global stage. I mean, obviously, she's a three-time WNBA champion, but as an Olympian, the most basketball Olympic gold medals, six-time Olympic gold medals. It hadn't been done before. And even beyond the Olympic stage, when a professional women's basketball player's career was built between the WNBA and their overseas part of their season. Diana was very dominant there as well. 6 EuroLeague championships on top of wherever she was, whether it was Russia or beyond. She was great. You know, college, 3-time NCAA champion. So like whatever level, whatever part of the world, whatever league, Diana was a winner and the best. And I think that, you know, just like global dominance is also a really big piece of Diana Taurasi's legacy.
Her Wikipedia page must be insane. Like, you know, when you see all the accomplishments and you're like, damn, like that's definitely the case when it comes to her.
Absolutely. And so just respect, you know, for me, Diana is one of the greatest, arguably the GOAT. I remember watching her play in her peak time. I wish she was around. Like, I wish her game was around now for the attention the women's game is getting and the level of like dog and killer instinct that she has. I think, you know, it would have mashed up just for like just the perfect explosion. But what we can say is that the time that she came paved the way for what's happening right now. And just an incredible legend of the game. Salute, respect, thank you, D. And you will never be forgotten, Diana. Like, you are just one of the people who captivate beyond the court.
The Owls have been on their little hooty-hoo domination, but it was the Ros who handed them their first loss this week, and there was a lot to say about it.
First, though, we'll go to Taylor Rooks, joined by Chelsea Gray.
Our club has been carrying this league since day one. And, you know, we've been taking it serious. We made everybody raise their level of play. And tonight we show why we still number one. So it's still hootie-hoo!
There were so many viral moments that came out of the game. And I feel like that hootie hoo had like, it had something behind it, you know?
There was some stank on that hootie hoo.
Yeah. But Sabrina Ionescu also ended the chat saying trash talking is part of our sport. You see it in the NFL, you see it in the NBA, but for some reason when it gets to women's sports, it's like people don't want to talk about it. And personally, I love all of the trash talking. I love the beef. I love the spiciness. But Ros, are you on the same page, or do you think it's too much for the league?
Logan, I am with you. I think it is so fun. Let the women talk and be themselves. I think it gets the audience chatting about women's basketball in a really healthy way that encourages fandom and attention on the players and the product on the court and what's happening between the teams. You know, I think in this last WNBA season, there was a lot of attention on women's hoops, but so much of it was around everything but the game. And some of the topics became very exhausting. You know, you're talking about racism and sexuality and all these different things. And it's like, here we're having a moment where the players are having fun and so are the fans. And it's about what's happening on the court. And the talk is being backed up by the walk. You know, you looking at the Ros who are now on a 5-game winning streak. And yeah, they did beat the Owls who were undefeated. So who that? You know, and it was built to ass. And you're looking at Angel Reese, who is talking the talk and walking the walk. This young lady is coming off of a weekend where she averaged 22.5 points, 17.5 rebounds on 51% shooting. So she's been super efficient and improving in her game. And you can see that her teammates, they really like her. You know, they love her and they're having fun. She's very likable. And even though she's 22, they follow her. You know, there's something very confident about Angel. And Sky's talking big too, Skylar Diggins-Smith, as she should, because the talk is being backed up by the walk. Skylar Diggins-Smith is top 5 in unrivaled play, in total points scored, total assists, and game winners made. So she's out here talking, even she's saying, you know, she's just great for the league. Like, oh, the Owls are carrying Unrivaled. Or even remember in the 101 tournament, how she was like, had this huge strategy and was so intensely defending Dearica Hamby in the 101 tournament. And you're just like, boy, Sky is a nut, but in the best way possible. And so I think all of this is great for women's sports.
And you look at the men's sports and there's so much trash talk. People are eating it up, but it's actually the ones the most who aren't really doing anything on the court or on the ice or whatever their playing field is. So when you look at it, I always kind of have the question, is it an issue with the trash talk, or is it a problem when women do it, or is it a sport to sport issue? Because the PWHL just had their first fight, and I was so scared that all the comments were going to be like, "Oh, girls shouldn't fight," blah blah. But people were all over it.
Yeah, I think sports redefines what expectations we have for women in society. I think you think about early WNBA days or early sports days, like there was so much focus on the nice girls of these teams, of these sports. And now we're starting to see a movement away from that where there are villains, where there are different personalities being, showcased and storylines to follow. And people love to root for the winners and the nice guys, but also people love villains too. And I think the trash talk will only encourage better fandom. I think it's an evolution, and that's what we're seeing.
And as you mentioned, Angel was a huge part of the Roses' win over the Owls. She had 20 points, 21 rebounds. It was the first 2020 stat line in Unrivaled history. And then she followed it up on Monday with 23 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and they won their 5th game in a row. So you have a little analysis, and I definitely want to hear it.
Yeah, I have some analysis, Logan. I think let's start by watching Angel Reese and her tremendous play in Unrivaled. She really just works hard. She is such a worker. Her tenacity on the glass, her effort for positioning. She's very strong on top of being mobile. So I think what she's realizing now in Unrivaled play and 3-on-3 play is that she's got space. There's room. She's going to be 1-on-1. And so now she can take the time she needs to slow down. She's bringing that ball up higher. And now she's starting to finish at a higher clip and play more efficiently. And you can see her confidence is growing. And that's, part of it for Angel, just continuing to grow in comfort on the court. Because on top of that, she's now starting to get some assists in there. She's stretching her range a bit. Her hard work with her coaches, with herself, with Lisa Leslie is paying off. And so ultimately what I would say about Angel is there's a lot of potential that's raw there, but her heart, her resilience, her willingness to work hard is going to make her a very strong player in WNBA, in Unrivaled and beyond. And some of that you just can't teach. Some of that is she's got it here. And the last thing I'll just say about Angel too is one good thing about Unrivaled is the pairing of different players that we may not have always gotten the chance to see. And her being paired with Chelsea Gray, a veteran point guard, has been so huge to have somebody who can put her in the right positions, someone who she can learn from, and someone who can really get her the rock in really sound ways and bring out the best in her game. So this pairing has been very healthy for Angel. When Angel's supported by great vets and great coaches and great team, this is what helps a young rookie, a young 22-year-old blossom.
Her and Chelsea, their chemistry, it was one of my biggest notes that I had, but I love the continuity and flow that Angel has between offense and defense. And as you said, there's lots of room to grow still. I think if she can trust where she's not confident in, the 2s and even 3s, start building that up, my God, is she going to be a force to be reckoned with? But yeah, let's transition to the W. Do you remember when Skims did a campaign last year and there were stars like Candace, Kelsey Plum, Cameron Brink, Skylar Deschanel?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that campaign. It was explosive. Kim Kardashian, the girls looked powerful and fierce. It dominated social media, everything.
Well, Nike and Skims just recently collaborated, and there was some talk with Natasha Cloud taking to Twitter saying they missed the intentionality again with the poppies of the league. So then Woxer came in, a rival brand, and they dropped their own campaign with the poppies, Brittany Sykes, Tiffany Hayes, and Courtney Williams. So when you're looking at these two brands, especially with them being rivals, does this highlight an issue with representation in the WNBA right now?
I don't think it's an issue with representation in the WNBA. I think it's an opportunity in representation for the WNBA. There's so much diversity of athlete, of human being, of experience, of woman, of womanhood, of expression of femininity, of body type, of skin color, of thickness. There's the poppies, there's the muscles, there's the tall and skinnies, there's the thick mamas, there's the, skinny models. There's so many different body types and also expressions of, I won't even just say femininity, but expressions of sexiness, of power. I think one thing that the WNBA has done is redefine what strong is, redefine what powerful can be. And through the Skims and Woxer campaign, it certainly is redefining what sexy, can be. And it can be muscular, it can be powerful, it can have glowing skin, it can be for the poppies. I think like the Woxer campaign acknowledged everyone. And while the Skims campaign was amazing, and the women that were featured in that looked like supermodels and powerful and strong. It was a successful campaign between the WNBA and Skims. They did leave out different pockets, or there were other opportunities for other players that could have easily shined and also done a great job as one of like the focal points of just being shown out in the campaign. And so like it came from the players themselves. The cry came from Tasha Cloud herself. She said, hey, don't forget the poppies. And so Woxer came through with briefs and, sports bras, and spoke to a different culture and community that is also very important to the fan base and very present in everyday society. And they did it in a really high level with models who looked great and cool and sexy and powerful, just like they did in the Skims campaign. So I think it's very exciting, all that we're seeing from the league, and how cool it is that everyone's getting a chance to be seen. I feel like with the WNBA, you get to be seen.
That's the main thing is like when I look at brands and their marketing and who's kind of like the face of it, I look for someone who looks like me or represents me the most or even my style. And with Skims, that is up my alley, but I cannot imagine people look at it and they're like, oh, that's not for me. Like they can't relate whatsoever. So huge shout out to Woxer to coming in. And I know there's a huge demographic of fans in the W and even other sports, like even with the thirst traps that you see on TikTok and everything, who are going to eat this up and they are here for it. So you kind of have like these two brands. Technically it's good because you're kind of giving something for everyone. Kind of not so great that it's not all within the same brand, but we need to see the poppies.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I found them very relatable too. Maybe I don't identify as a poppy, but I was like, you know what? I like the way the Woxers, they fit, and like also how they fit my active lifestyle. And like, as someone who plays ball, but also feels like I love an outdoor workout, like there was so much that was relatable for me. So actually, it sold to me too. So like that's the big thing too. Are you selling product? And I thought that successfully that campaign does that too.
I love a good boxer. I would love to try Woxer. Woxer, if you're watching, hi. But coming up, Roz is sitting down with the WNBA champion, Betnijah Laney-Hamilton, and we will be right back.
Hey everyone, welcome to Good Follow. I'm Ros Logan, and today we are joined by WNBA champion Betnijah Laney-Hamilton of the New York Liberty, and she is coming to us live from the Unrivaled campus in Miami. Betnijah, you are unrivaled. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I see that we have another unrivaled guest with us today. Is that your niece?
Yes, this is JJ. She came with me this past weekend, and she's only here for the week, but she's been having a blast.
I know that you two are like a package deal. I'm sure at this point, like she's part of contractual like obligations.
Pretty much. I have her look over it first. I'm like, is this good? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I can tell who's in charge for sure. Well, we are so happy to see you and JJ. I mean, how did it come about that you were going to join Unrivaled out of the break? Because you literally came in, maybe even off a flight, dropped 23 points and hit the game winner like it was nothing.
I was home, I had just gotten back from Lebanon with my husband. And so I was available, and they called, I think it was Friday, and was just like, hey, like, do you want to come down? And so I was like, well, I was available, and just, seeing everything that was going on, seeing the competition and everything, I was just like, it was something that I was ready to be a part of. And so, coming down, it's been great. The facility is great. All the treatment, all of the equipment, everything that we have access to has just been very helpful, and I think it'll be very beneficial, just going into the WNBA season.
The last time that we spoke, it was all the way up till Game 5, New York Liberty Championship, and you could barely walk. You really put your body on the line. You were playing hero in the WNBA finals to put it all out there and help the Liberty. Like, what have you been doing for your body right now to get healthy? Where is your body at? You just dropped 23, so are we at full strength?
We're getting there. This was a really good measurement for me to kind of just see where I'm at, like how I'm feeling at a much faster pace. Because playing pickup and stuff, you can kind of control it a little bit more. And so me coming, I felt really good. Obviously, just with the history, I feel it, but I feel really good. I've been able to ramp up workouts and everything and do all the things I needed to do. So my regimen has just been, me playing pickup, working out, going to the gym, getting up some extra shots and everything, and going to do treatment, having treatment come to me. And so now that I'm here, I have access to everything right at one facility as opposed to having to move around to do things. And so it's been really good.
You come in as an interesting role with Unrivaled. You're part of the reserve player pool for Unrivaled. So your first assignment is with the Laces, who interestingly enough are coached by Andrew Wade, who's also going to be an assistant coach this year for the Liberty. So what stands out to you about Coach Andrew Wade as far as what he's bringing to the table?
Yeah, we spoke before I got down here, and at the time I didn't know that he was with Liberty because he hadn't mentioned it. But we just talked about where I was, how I was feeling. Obviously, with the history and everything, it made me feel really good to know that he was more focused on everyone's recovery, everyone's process, but just being really intentional about what it was that we needed as a team, and just going through. Everybody made me feel super comfortable. It's a great group to be a part of, but knowing that he'll also work with me in this upcoming season is really good too, because I have somebody who can help put me through things, who knows the system and everything, and so he's just been really great.
Yeah, and that Laces team, that's a nice squad of versatile vets. It really, that's a nice fit for now, but you could bounce around anywhere, right?
Possibly. I think I'll just primarily be with the Laces. I really enjoy this group a lot, so
yeah.
So it would be nice to just stay here. But whatever it is, it is what it is, and I'm gonna just show up and try and be my best self.
Absolutely, as you always do, and certainly you did when the Liberty won the championship. What's the best way that you celebrated winning a WNBA championship?
The best way, for me, the parade. The parade was amazing because it was all of us together riding down the street and everything. But then also it was a moment for us to share with our fans who had supported us so much along the way. From when I first got to the Liberty up until now, us bringing a championship to the city. So that was a very special moment for me. Just having the parade, all of us coming together as a team and as a city, really.
Yeah. Have you linked up or kept up in touch really deeply with some of the players from the team?
Not so much. I'm not really a phone person. So if I see you, it's we haven't skipped a beat. But in terms of just keeping up with everybody, we'll talk here and there, but we haven't spoken a whole lot since we've all parted ways.
So when you saw, when you come to Unrivaled, this is the best chance to run into your Sabrinas, your Brianna Stewarts, I know Sloot's leaving, but even Slooty.
Yeah, even Slooty. I always have love for Slooty. We've been teammates, not just with the Liberty. So it's, it's all love when I see her. But yeah, had a chance to run into Stewie and Sab, and yeah, it's been great.
Okay. So, during free agency, the rest of the league improved a lot. They out there having an arms race. What's it going to take for the Liberty to be able to run this thing back?
I think it just takes us, building more chemistry, us continuing to grow together. We have the foundation. We know what it looks like, what it takes to get there. We know how hard it is, so we kind of know all of the things to expect. But competition is great. We don't. obviously, yeah, you wanna beat everybody, but it ultimately it helps us become better and better and grow, going against better competition. And I think it's great for the league, for everybody to continue to grow and build. So I'm excited going into the next season to go up against people. It'll be great.
Were you ever worried at any point during free agency that you might get traded? I mean, I think like the hottest rumor we had heard, was like, hey, Satu Sabli might come to New York and be with Niara. And I know a lot of Liberty fans were like, but who's going? Not Betnijah Laney-Hamilton, who sacrificed everything for this team in the final. So it was, a little nerve-wracking for us. How about you?
I mean, no, it's like one of those things where, anything could happen at any time. I was aware of, everything that was, being said and all the things. So was I worried? No, I think, everything is going to happen the way that it's supposed to happen, and I'm going to be where I'm supposed to be. And at the end of the day, like I said before, I'm going to just always show up and, be the best me that I can possibly be.
What does it mean to you, though, that this organization, its leadership, stood 10 toes down with you, and also this fan base? I mean, you've now spent this is about to be 5 years.
I'm going into 5.
Heading in with the Liberty. Like, what does this organization and the ability to come and run it back for the championship mean to you?
I mean, it means a lot. Just have support. Obviously, I'm someone who, early in my career bounced around. So that's another thing where I'm kind of used to moving around, but at the same time, it's really nice to be wanted, to have the love and support that I have, to have, access to all the things. And so it's a great feeling. You
forgot to mention, add in Ellie the elephant.
Look, Ellie is a whole nother conversation. Okay. Ellie is in her own world. Ellie is so much to us. People come to the games for Ellie, and then look, we're the token. We're the bonus. We're the bonus. But
hey,
no, it's
whatever brings
it's
you
great.
to Barclays.
Right. You get Ellie, you get us. Everything's great.
As a player, what was your favorite part about the rise of Ellie the elephant?
I think just everything. Just seeing Ellie do all the things. Ellie's on red carpets. Ellie is, at award. Ellie's in commercials. And so to just see that and see how she, the atmosphere that she brings, like she brings us all together, and so seeing the rise of Ellie has been really special. It's no other mascot like Ellie.
I know you balance a lot of time in between the U.S. and also being overseas with your husband, fellow hooper Jordan Hamilton. Like, how much do you think you guys are living a real life love and basketball?
I mean, a lot. We battle, we go at it, we help each other grow. It was really special the time that we were able to have at home and everything, playing one-on-one, getting up early, going to the gym, doing all of the extra work, him having his goals, me having mine, and us just coming together, pushing each other, to be able to obtain that. And so it's very special for me. I feel like he is a very big part of the reason that I am who I am and I am where I am. Just when we met, I wasn't me, to where I am now. I feel like he, helped push me. He helped me excel further in my career than where I was before. So, I'm very appreciative of him, just his advice, his support, the way that he shows up for me in a variety of different ways.
How has he shown up? How has he helped elevate you?
I mean, he pushes me. He's my toughest critic, but also my biggest supporter. He gets out there with me. If I'm like, hey, like I want to do this or I need this, like no questions asked, he's there and he's providing. And so just to have that, he spends the majority of his off season with me, being there to support me. Like we'll, watch the film. He'll text me like different cues and everything, different tips. And so just all around, he's just all around one of my biggest supporters. So
what parts of the world have you visited or supported him in? And have y'all ever like been up at 2 a.m., 5 a.m. just trying to catch each other's games?
He does. And it's the sacrifice, because he'll have a game. Like, when we have our crossover, he'll have something, he'll still stay up at, 5 a.m. he's, when he's been in Japan or when he's been in Taiwan, he stayed up. I didn't even get to talk to him after we won the championship, but he was up, like texting and everything, just like super happy, super proud. So yes, we will stay up when we were done and he started. I'm up 2 a.m., 3 a.m. watching his games, and we're waiting until everything is over to be able to talk to each other and just give the love and support.
That is so beautiful, girl. This is real love in basketball. Like, oh, but it sounds like Jordan's doing great.
Yeah.
Whether it's in person or from afar. The last question I have for you is, last season when you were injured, it sucked that we didn't get to see you on the court, but what did work out for us as a fan base is that we got to see the looks you were serving on the sidelines. So one, I want to know, do you have a stylist? And then two, like, how would you describe your personal style off the court?
I don't have a stylist. My personal style, I think it just depends. I don't think I really like fit into like one category, because sometimes, it's more elevated. Sometimes it's very casual. Sometimes it's just, lounge. So it just kind of depends on like how I'm feeling, or maybe like I'll see something, like I'll go to the store or something. I also love Pinterest. So I look at that, I'm like, oh, that's cute. I like that. Let me, recreate that look or something like that. But I also think I'm like really simple when it comes to style. Like I don't like to do too much, but I just want to look cute.
It's that simple for you.
Yeah.
There's so much opportunity like in storytelling and brand building and business building now, and fashion and style and pregame and all that. So we look forward to whatever it is that you're building out, because we will be supporting it, Betnijah.
I appreciate it.
Welcome back to Good Follow. I'm Ros. She's Logan. And that was Betnijah Laney-Hamilton joining us for an incredible interview in Miami at Unrivaled campus, just covering everything from the WNBA championship to her personal life. Gosh, I really love just how much she gave us in the interview, and always catching up with Betnijah. It's good, right, Logan?
Absolutely. That was such a good interview. And now it is time to talk some college hoops. We had such a crazy weekend. There was a double overtime thriller between 13 NC State and Notre Dame, who's the #1 seed, with NC State coming out on top 104-95. Now, Hannah Hidalgo had an okay game, which is crazy to say considering she put up 26 points, but her and Sonia Citron, high stats. But it still was not enough to stop Zoe Brooks. She put up 33 points, 10 rebounds. And mind you, she is someone who is averaging, I think, 13.5 points per game. And her career high was 21 going into this. So she was absolutely carrying them. And add her to the other three, Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers. Do you think that NC State is a legit title contender? Or was it just a case of Notre Dame running out of gas?
Oh, NC State is for real. This is a real title contender. This is a team that was in the Final Four last season. And that is very real experience and confidence that you take into the following season. Also, they're led by veteran guard play in Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers. And then not to mention in Brooks, you said it, Logan, like she's averaging about 14 points per game and then exploded for 33. And it was very much done in a meat and potatoes way. She got it done at the free throw line. When you pull off an upset, you need your entire team playing at a high level, but you also need some X factors, someone to score or perform outside of their usual average. And that's exactly what Zoe Brooks brought for NC State. So it's usually Notre Dame and their guards that are, causing havoc for the other team. But instead, this time around, it was NC State who had enough depth and experience and veteranness of guard play to pull this thing out. Even I have to point out this one iconic moment. Girl, when Sonia Citron hit that three at the end of regulation of forced overtime on the road, I was like, cinema. I was like, oh, the drama of it. And Notre Dame is going to go on and take this thing away, break all their hearts. The Wolfpack, all those fans are so excited. But no, I mean, they really held on. And again, to just pound home just how influential that trio of guards for NC State was in the double OT, that group of James, Rivers, and Brooks scored or assisted on 18 of the 20 points scored. So, I mean, they did the damage.
Do you want to hear another crazy stat about them? They actually scored or assisted on 93 of NC State's 104 points.
Like, insanity. And so I do think, like, call me biased, but I think guard play goes a long way. I think veteran guard play goes a long way. I think experienced guard play goes a long way. And, Notre Dame traditionally has that, in Hidalgo, in Olivia Miles, in Sonia Citron. But on this day, NC State had enough to match, or at least to counter what they had, and then finish it off with some knockout punches. But ultimately, what this says to me, Logan, is March is about to really be mad. It's going to be mad. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, because South Carolina's gone down, UCLA's gone down, Notre Dame's gone down. Hey, some teams are piping up right now. UConn's playing well. USC's on a win streak. Look at NC State getting a nice upset on the, I am so excited for this level of parity and just, unknown happening in women's college hoops right now.
Absolutely chaotic. And I feel like NC State is actually that team who peaks towards March. Like, they're starting to look really good. And this was a statement that they made here, but you mentioned UCLA going down, and that was to USC. There's a rematch on Saturday, and I'm so excited. Last time they played, Juju went off for 38. She was a one-woman show pretty much out there. But in this week's AP poll, we have UCLA at 2 and USC at 4. So they're pretty close together. Ros, do you think this week USC can pull off another win, or is UCLA just going to come back and they're not going down twice in a row?
I think we are in for another heavyweight battle. I think that it's going to be an exciting game. I think USC is streaking along at the right time of the year right now. They've won 6 in a row. And I think they're playing very good basketball. You mentioned Juju Watkins had 38 points. How often can we saying 38 points doesn't tell the story even? Because it was 38 points, 11 rebounds, 8 blocks. That stat line is crazy. But I think it's also important that everyone else on USC be ready to be an option. UCLA is going to come in with a defensive plan to be more disruptive early on Juju Watkins. And I actually think that players have been playing well for USC. Coming off of their win against Illinois, Kiki Iriafen had 23 points. And I thought she did a really nice job of being opportunistic at different ranges, which she's going to have to do against UCLA if, Lauren Betts is in there taking up the lane and disrupting shots at the rim. Rhea Marshall also is coming off of a double-double. 12 points, 13 rebounds, but also 5 assists, 4 steals, a very complete game. So I want I really want to shout out the Akinwafo. Played some really high minutes in there against Lauren Betts in the first matchup because of foul trouble, and got that opportunity. So everybody's got to be ready and all hands on deck for USC, especially when they take this game to Pauley Pavilion and the advantage of the crowd is going to shift. And the main key, though, the number one key for this game is going to be taking care of the ball. UCLA gave up 20 turnovers and 21 points off of those turnovers to USC. They've got to clean that up, and that's going to be like a major key to the game for UCLA. What are you thinking in seeing this matchup?
I mean, the easy option is to say, oh, lock in on Juju. Why wouldn't you? But USC does have the players to back it up and be able to pull off a win if Juju isn't on her game or being locked in on. With that said, last game, they did not. They were not on their stuff. They weren't putting up the points. So it's just a matter of USC really coming together. And this might be one of the first times against a higher ranked opponent that we're going to have to see this be a team effort rather than a Juju effort.
Totally. And look, to their defense, USC has won games where Juju has struggled with her shot, and so I think those are the types of wins that are important for a team, for their confidence. And I think that they're building up at the right time right now, heading into the end of February, heading into March. They're on a 6-game win streak. And if they were able to win this again on the road at Pauley Pavilion, I think that puts a really nice cap, on their February and takes them really nicely into the tournament.
Absolutely.
But Logan, it's not just basketball that's going on. We've got the She Believes Cup final. We will take it to soccer because the U.S. Women's National Team has looked electric in their first 2 games at the She Believes Cup. And Emma Hayes has been doing her big one. She's been in her bag. She's showing off all of their depth because she's had to replace all 11 starters for the first time in 25 years. So what do you make of all of this? What have you seen from this young squad's performance at the Cup so far?
You know what? Y'all are so incredibly lucky that you're so good at soccer because I'm over here cheering for Australia and Canada. We have damn near full strength rosters. And I'm like, okay, guys, come on, pick it up. Like Australia did so well in the World Cup and Canada has won the Olympics. And here you guys are, you bring in these players for first caps even. You had Ellie who came in first cap, first goal, which is absolutely insane. But the play that I guess they were playing with was incredibly impressive, especially even chemistry wise, having so many players who haven't really played together all in one field and coming in with a lot of pressure on them, not only backing up the name of the U.S. Women's National Team, but getting your first caps or first starts or one of at the beginning stages of your career on that team. And they've looked really good. There is still room for improvement, but I'm loving what I'm seeing.
It really shows you the strength of the overall program and system and farming system and development of players along the pipeline of soccer. And so that you can have a full replacement of a line and people are still performing and the team is still producing at a high level. But Logan, I want to give you some flowers because we're recording this ahead of the finals against Japan. And you had some predictions last week that were spot on. Can we just have a flashback real quick?
Oh, look at that.
Yes. So Logan's past predictions were that the newcomers will stand out, check. Forwards won't dominate, but will get it done, check. And question mark at midfield. Logan, you pretty much nailed it there. We're giving you your flowers for that. How do you see tonight's game playing out?
It's definitely going to be a tough one. Japan is looking so good. They're fast. Their positioning is good. Technicality, they're accurate. And a key part is they're strong both with and without the ball, which might be something that is going to be a problem for the U.S. Women's National Team. But in this tournament, they have scored 8 goals, and Mina Tanaka has been involved in 7 of them, including 4 goals. So that is definitely going to be the one that you need to lock in on and kind of make Japan prove that they can do something without Mina. And it's really going to be a test of that midfield and defense, which on those predictions is midfield is a question mark. Honestly, it's still a bit of a question mark. I would love to see a start with Sam Coffey and maybe one of the young ones, Lily Johannes, because they've been looking really good. But my little hot take is I haven't been super impressed with Corbin Albert and Lindsay Heaps, which it's been going on for a while, but with that said, I think you need to start someone like Lindsay because you have such a young team and she has all the experience. Honestly, watching some of Japan's stuff, it's not a team that we've seen in the past. They've really brought their stuff up. So I think it's going to definitely be a test, but if they continue to play how they've been playing, the U.S. Women's National Team, I think you could get it done. They do need a win rather than a draw because if they draw, then Japan wins.
Okay, so Japan needs it all, but Logan, you calling people out by name, okay? No, I see that. And also, we love a defensive challenge for Team USA, so let's see if they can continue to step up.
Absolutely. And the shout out to the young ones on the team, the first cappers. I mean, all of them at some point have proved themselves, or even if it's just one play, they have made their mark on the team. And I think come the time when you're building the A roster back up, they could be taking some people's spots. And also shout out to Emma Hayes for giving them a chance because we have never seen anything like this. Even with Flatco, you'd have 1 or 2 new players come in and they wouldn't start. They'd just be on the bench just in case anything happened. So huge shout out just for giving opportunity and allowing us to watch them shine.
Yes, opportunity breeds growth and will breed further competition, which is only great for the program as it moves forward. So, this is part of the natural lifeline of sports. Next player up mentality. And sometimes when that door opens for one player, it doesn't reopen for the one that it left behind. So, we might be watching just the passing of the torch in some ways for Team USA around the U.S. Women's National Team. But Logan, we've got to go real quick. We're going to have to take a break because when we come back, I'm going to give you my DraftKings pick of the week. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Good Follow. This segment is presented by DraftKings. This week, I'm looking at UCLA versus USC Part 2. This time, the battle for LA moves to Pauley Pavilion and the entire women's hoops world will be locked in. USC got the best of UCLA when these two teams matched up 2 weeks ago, and this time around, I'm staying locked in on Kiki Iriafen of USC. Juju Watkins dropped a mind-blowing stat line of 38 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 blocks in that game. So I expect UCLA to come out gunning to try and slow her down. So the Trojans are going to need Kiki to be a versatile scoring threat and be opportunistic from mid-range, at the basket, and in transition. It's going to be all hands on deck to control the paint and the glass with Lauren Betts on the other side for UCLA. Hey, UCLA is anchored by their biggest target, Lauren Betts. She can't be guarded one-on-one. If she's not posting, sealing, and scoring, she's also making impact as a playmaker, dishing assists, or as a shot blocker, changing so many shots at the rim. The key to this game is taking care of the ball, and I think UCLA is going to do a better job of that at home and avenge the loss, and they're going to come away with a W this weekend. But something tells me we are in for another dramatic game in LA, and Logan, I cannot wait. This segment is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Who's going to take that crown in LA? But, you know, whenever we come to the end of this segment, Logan, it tells me we're coming towards the end of the show here. And so now we're up to the point where we need to know, do you have some new headlines, news, updates we didn't get to yet?
Yes, absolutely. We have some quick hits. The first one is that Asia Wilson and Jordan Charles were named Time Woman of the Year. And I don't know if you saw, but the shoot that they did, oh my goodness. But I also cannot think of any other woman who deserved this more than them.
Oh, these two women are awesome ambassadors for the game, for women, for men, everyone in sports.
Next, we have Dwayne Wade's daughter, Zaya Wade, who graced the cover of 17. And there's some quotes in here. The first is, "I've come to understand so much about family and connection from the richness of being with people you feel safe around. That's the vision of myself I really hold inside." Oh my goodness. And the second is, "Nothing can top the elation of being yourself in the way you always knew you were, but you didn't know you could be." I'm literally about to tear up right now.
Yeah. So much bravery every time I hear about Zaya.
And I feel like the next one is a long time coming, but no one has really talked about it. Dawn Staley announced her new book, and I saw a little quote that there's going to be everything in it pretty much, like from her childhood to coaching to fashion. Like, she is going in, and I cannot wait to read it.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty much ready to support anything that Dawn Staley is going to produce.
And lastly, I don't know about you, but if you have notifications on for ESPN, Michaela Schifrin is always coming up, but she just won her 100th World Cup, which is absolutely insane. I'm not too familiar with skiing, to be honest, but she is at the top of that sport, and I feel like she's going to continue to dominate. I don't think she's running out of gas anytime soon.
Make sure your notifications are on. And make sure your notifications are on for us at Good Follow Show. And make sure you're locked in and subscribed with us on Good Follow Show, and also tapped in with our social handles, because this episode's over, but we come every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We drop on YouTube, on DraftKings networks, wherever you get your podcasts. We want to thank in this week's show, Betnijah Laney-Hamilton, WNBA champion, newly of Unrivaled, for coming on and hanging out with us and giving us an exclusive one-on-one interview. And Logan, as always, it is a pleasure to kick it with you, girl.
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Oh, girl, I love that. I'll miss you. I hope you enjoy a warmer Canada day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do my best and enjoy the sunshine out here in LA. Wherever you guys are, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.